The MUTO's name is an acronym for Massive Unidentified Terrestrial Organism. In one of the original screenplays for Godzilla, the MUTOs were called Hawk MUTO and Fem MUTO, which was short for Hokkaido MUTO and Female MUTO. Altogether, there are 4 MUTOs that exist in the MonsterVerse. In the 2014 film, the MUTOs are referred to as such but are also referred to numerically, with the male being designated as MUTO 1 and the female as MUTO 2. The third MUTO is therefore presumably known to Monarch as MUTO 3. The MUTOs are an ancient parasitic arthropod species that evolved during the Permian period of Earth's history. Technically, the MUTOs are a part of a smaller subspecies of the much larger MUTO Prime. Like Godzilla, they feed off the Earth's radiation. Let's dive on to the 4 types of MUTOs. MUTO 1, the male being the first member to be encountered, is described as a young, growing and looking for food before meeting the female, so he consumes radiation to gain strength. This MUTO is seen to be 200 feet tall and probably weighed in the 10,000 ton range. The MUTO's bodies are covered in an iridescent metallic grayish-black exoskeleton. They have orangey-red, narrowly shaped eyes. The shape of their head is reminiscent of Gaia's, and they have triangular jaws resembling a hooked beak, with the male MUTO having 2 mandibles, while the female only has 1. The male MUTO is able to unleash electromagnetic pulses from his claws, which can disable electric apparatus in a 5-mile wide radius. The male MUTO has wings, which he can use to fly around the air, but his top speed is undetermined. Naturally, these wings aided him in seeking out radiation to offer to the female. The wings also gave the male a massive combat advantage against Godzilla. He would usually be able to escape back into the skies before Godzilla could retaliate. The male spent most of his time after hatching flying around in a constant hunt for radiation and, most importantly, a potential mate. The male MUTO was strong enough to drag Godzilla away from the female MUTO without difficulty and dredge up a Russian attack submarine from the depths of the ocean and pull it dozens of miles inland on the island of Hawaii. MUTO 2. The female, once the male had matured enough, awakened from her dormancy and traversed through Las Vegas and other environments to meet with the male. She is seen as having 8 limbs, although only 6 were used for walking around. The female MUTO was larger than the male MUTO, being around 300 feet tall and way heavier and also bulkier in appearance. She lacks the ability to fly but is durable enough to withstand even the atomic breath of the G-Man. Despite their resemblances to arthropods, the MUTOs are of vertebrate biology. The female is twice as large as the male, but lacks the wings like fireflies and certain wasps. The female MUTO has the ability to reproduce sexually. She lays hundreds of eggs near a radioactive object so that when the offsprings hatch, they can immediately feed off the radiation. As parasites, the females of the MUTO parasitic species lays their eggs inside the radioactive carcasses of the larger Godzilla species in order to reproduce. The MUTOs have shown to be intelligent enough to work as a team, and the female was also able to quickly determine Ford's involvement in the destroying of her nest. MUTO Prime. Even bigger than the female MUTO, or maybe even bigger than Godzilla himself, MUTO Prime is portrayed as another subspecies, a more ancient one that had battled an ancient ancestor of Godzilla and actually won the fight. She might be almost or around 400 feet tall. The MUTO Prime is nearly identical in appearance to the regular female MUTO, except for several notable differences. The MUTO Prime has a hardened outer shell with razor-sharp back spires on it, large orange glowing forelimbs, as well as several smaller pairs of forelimbs on her chest. The MUTO Prime is classified as having the behavior of a destroyer. She also appears to have some sort of rivalry with Godzilla. MUTO Prime is only seen attacking humans in order to obtain sources of radiation, and doesn't seem to kill out of pure malice. Jinshin Mushi is an imposing specimen with razor-sharp back spires towering atop a hardened outer shell, making it an unstoppable mountain of a tank as it erupts from the earth. Powerful legs strike the ground like a devastating seismic salvo of cannons heard for miles, with each thunderous step digging into the earth to take a battle-hardened stance on the surface against any titan aggressor it faces. MUTO 3. The second female MUTO is among the titans being monitored by Monarch and is awakened by Ghidorah's call. She is later seen in Boston after Godzilla defeats Ghidorah, and she bows down to Godzilla, acknowledging him as a new alpha. This new MUTO, although very similar to the female MUTO in the 2014 film, bears slight differences, which brings up a question whether she is a juvenile form of the MUTO Prime. It hasn't been stated as yet, but it's popular fan belief that this MUTO is a subspecies akin to the MUTO Prime of Godzilla Aftershock. Not much is known about this MUTO except for the fact that she was in North America and attacked cities and human settlements there. She was also quick enough to reach Boston at the end. Anyway, do tell us your thoughts in the comment section and what videos you want us to make. Like, share, subscribe and all that fun stuff.